Ever had a neighbor so off the rails you wanted to knock some sense into them, the kind who struts around like the deed to the whole street's got their name on it? That's Brenda McLachlan for you, president of our beloved HOA in Oak Haven, a place just outside Charlotte where folks are supposed to mind their business, water their lawns, wave hello, and let you be. Except Brenda had a doctorate in minding everyone else's business and a minor in straight-up delusion. And I, Arthur Jenkins, retired systems engineer, amateur gardener, occasional optimist, seemed to be her favorite target the minute I bought my little brick ranch on Chestnut Drive. The first time she really got under my skin, I was just planting some pink Elias, minding my own son on my back, feeling pretty good for a guy whose knees creak more than his porch swing. Brenda comes power walking over arms folded, scoping my flower bed like I'd just put up a neon sign that said, "Rave. Tonight." She looks me up and down and goes, "Arthur, are those alias on the approved landscaping list? Because they look a little vibrant." For the neighborhood, we prefer muted tones, keeps things uniform. I just blinked, looked at my flowers, then at her and said, "Brenda, they're flowers, not fireworks, and I'm pretty sure vibrant isn't against the rules." She huffed something about standards and stomped off, and I realized, oh boy, this one's going to be a handful. I'm not a guy who riles easy. My late wife Martha always said I had the patience of a saint and the stubbornness of a mule. Maybe she was right. I like things neat. I like peace. And I usually give folks the benefit of the doubt. But Brenda tested the limits from the jump, always a comment, always a sideways glance, slow rolling past my place, like she expected to catch me spray painting the siding or staging a coup d'etat in the driveway. My trash cans an inch too far left note on the mailbox. Lawn-looking patchy lecture in the street. It was a steady drumbeat of disapproval, and it chipped away at the peaceful retirement I'd imagined when I moved here. You know that feeling when you buy a place hoping it'll finally be your sanctuary? I wanted quiet. Good neighbors, a place to grow tomatoes and maybe see my grandkids more. 2 out of 3 ain't bad, but I hadn't counted on the HOA, or more specifically, its self-appointed queen. Brenda's house 2 streets over was ironically decked out with a parade of pink flamingos and enough animal print to outfit a zoo, but somehow her design crimes never made the violation list. When you write the rules or interpret them with an iron fist, same difference. I guess you get creative latitude. A month in, I'm having a new fence put up out back. Nothing fancy, just a wooden privacy fence well within the HOA guidelines. I checked the rules a dozen times because, frankly, I had a feeling. Sure enough, here comes Brenda down the driveway like General Patton doesn't talk to the workers, just comes straight to me. "Arthur, I see you're putting up a fence." I was reviewing the plans. 6 feet, is it? Some of the folks on the next street enjoy their afternoon sun. Wouldn't want to cast a shadow on Mrs. Henderson's roses. Mrs. Henderson, by the way, lives 3 houses down, and across the street, geometry wasn't Brenda's strong suit. I just told her, "Brenda, the fence is approved, it's on my line, and I'm pretty sure the only thing losing sunlight is the squirrels." She gave me that look like she wanted to say, "People like you just don't get it," and left probably to make a note in her little black book of neighborhood crimes. It wasn't just about fences or flowers. With me, it felt personal. Her scrutiny lingered longer, cut sharper. My antennae were up. But the real show didn't start until a Tuesday in late July. A day so hot and thick you could wring water out of the air, the cicadas hollering like a marching band. I was in my garage sorting old boxes. The big door cracked for a little breeze, listening to some muddy waters, just about as content as you can be when the heat makes your socks stick. Around 2, the sky just breaks biblical rain, 0 visibility. I'm about to shut the door when I spot Brenda scurrying down the sidewalk, soaked to the bone and looking for once more like a drowned cat than a self-important monarch. Now, I'm not heartless. Anyone caught out in a downpour gets shelter that's just neighborly. So I call out, "Brenda, come on in, wait out the storm." She hesitates, but the rain makes up her mind. She ducks into the garage dripping, still managing to critique my pegboard and workbench like she's appraising a fixer-upper on TV. After a minute, she says, "You mind if I step inside for a towel?" Against my better judgment, I let her into the kitchen. Bad move. The garage is one thing. The kitchen's the inner sanctum. She immediately starts poking around, making little comments about the vintage cabinetry. and how she almost bought this place herself. I hand her a towel, point her to the living room, thinking maybe if I keep her occupied, she'll leave me be. But Brenda saw that as an invitation, more like squatters' rights, as I was about to learn. The rain keeps hammering. I retreat to the kitchen, try to regain a little peace, when my daughter Sarah calls Little Island of Normal in this gathering storm. We chat a bit. She tells me about my grandson teaching their dog to play chess. I tell her about the weather and Brenda's latest performance. By the time I hang up and head back inside, Brenda has made herself so at home it's jaw-dropping. Shoes off by my chair, feet tucked under her throw blanket draped over her knees, glass of my sparkling water on my coffee table, open bag of my favorite pretzels, and a half-eaten apple from my own fruit bowl. TV blaring some ridiculous talk show. It was like watching someone colonize your living room in real time. I try to nudge her out gently. Rain's letting up. Maybe it's time to go. Brenda just gives me a sly smile, says she's quite comfortable, and anyway, she's established occupancy rights. I laugh, thinking it's a joke, until she pulls out a printout from her leopard print purse titled, Understanding Common Law Squatter Rights. She starts quoting blog posts claiming she now has residency, citing her purse, her shoes, her domestic presence. You ever have a moment so surreal you think, am I on a hidden camera show? Because that was me right then. I tell her again, time to go. She doubles down, says maybe I'm the one who's supposed to leave since I abandoned the living area when I took my call in the garage. She even picks up her phone and dials 911. Yes, operator, I'm at 121 Chestnut Drive. The prior occupant is trying to illegally remove me. I feel unsafe. She put on this shaky victim voice that could have won an Oscar, saying I'm aggressive and threatening while I'm standing there with my arms at my sides, wondering if this is what a stroke feels like. I just go into my office, grab the deed to the house, and pull up my Ring doorbell footage showing Brenda arriving drenched, asking to come in just for a second time, stamped clear as day. When the cops roll up, two of them looking both bored and braced for HOA drama, Brenda flings herself at them, declaring she's the real resident and I'm the usurper. She waves her purse like a royal scepter, insists her shoes by the door are proof of habitation, and offers her blog post as legal research. Officer Miller, the lead, keeps a straight face. Ma'am, do you have a lease utility bill ID with this address? Brenda sputters. My presence speaks for itself. I show my deed, my driver's license, and the Ring footage. I play the video, Brenda's voice crystal clear. Can I just come in for a second? The officers exchange a look that says, here we go again. Officer Miller tells Brenda, ma'am, this isn't Monopoly. You don't get to claim someone's house because you sat on the couch. That should have been the end, but then he recognizes Brenda. Weren't you the one we had to remove from the community clubhouse when you changed the locks and told the pool boy he was your cabana attendant? Brenda turns beet red protest, but the other officer, Chen, just shakes her head. They tell Brenda plain and simple, refusing to leave after being asked, calling in a false report. That's trespassing and filing a false police report. You're under arrest. The sight of Brenda being led out in handcuffs, neighbors peeking from behind curtains, was cinematic. Mrs. Henderson, watching from her porch, roses unbothered by any shadows. As the cop car rolled off, Oakhaven felt lighter. I called David Tran, the HOA vice president, told him the whole saga. He was stunned, but also a little relieved it wasn't just me, apparently. At the emergency HOA meeting the next night, everyone had a Brenda story: whimsical wind chimes, fined roses, nearly banned for clashing with signage, clubhouse snack bars raided in the name of security. The vote to remove Brenda was unanimous. The board apologized to me and anyone else she'd harassed, fined her for misuse of authority, and launched an audit of HOA funds, animal print accessories. Anyone David was named interim president. The mood in the room, one of cautious hope, maybe even celebration. Brenda's clique vanished like smoke. She put her house on the market soon after. I became an accidental folk hero. Neighbors I barely knew thanked me for standing up. Mrs. Henderson even brought me a bouquet of her famous roses. A week later, I threw a little backyard cookout. Banner on my 6-foot fence, Oakhaven United guests welcome, but not for 3 hours, unless you brought dip. Everyone laughed, raised a glass, and for the first time since I'd moved in, it actually felt like home. I even found Brenda's squatter rights printout, still tucked in her purse, framed it, hung it in my office as a reminder sometimes all it takes to beat the ridiculous is calm facts and a little backbone. So yeah, life's funny. You just want to water your tomatoes and next thing you know, you're the star of a suburban soap opera. But here's what I learned dignity means: not letting anyone, no matter how official they act, walk all over you in your own home. Justice doesn't always thunder in, it might just arrive with a click of handcuffs and a sigh of relief from your whole neighborhood. Now, I bet some of you listening have your own Brenda stories. Drop a comment, tell us what city or country you're from, who's your neighborhood legend. Because believe me, we all have one, and the best way to handle them is a little grace, a little grit, and if you can swing it, a sense of humor. And never underestimate the power of a well-timed ring video and a perfectly legal fence.